It is still in the negatives this morning. We are in the middle of a polar vortex here in Michigan and most of the country. I thought, what better to do than play my second ever tournament at the MA3 division in a polar vortex. Let's see how it goes. Let's go, baby. Start it up. Before we begin the round, I should mention that I had 3 goals going into this tournament that I wanted to accomplish. Goal 1 was to shoot at or above my current PDGA rating. After my first tournament, I'm currently rated 892 in the PDGA ratings. That meant that I would need to shoot around 890 to 900 to stick that tournament rating. Goal 2 was to make the lead card going into the second round, which meant that I had to be in the top 4 after round 1. This is something that I accomplished in my first tournament, and I really think that playing with the people that are leading in the tournament helps me play better. So I was looking to maybe get 4 or 3 in that card. And finally, goal 3 was just to make the cash line. This tournament, there was about 13 people competing. I needed to be in the top 6 to walk away not empty-handed. So I was looking to just hopefully make that cash line so I could get some new discs. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get back to the action. So after the first 2 holes, feeling pretty good, nerves are gone. Third tee shot finds a tree on a reachable par 3. Still looking for my first birdie, but we're just playing par golf right now. I have a nice approach shot with Larkin, my Prodigy MA3 throwing putter. Tap that in for par. Hole 4 should have been marked a par 4, but it was par 3 on the card for some reason, even though it's a par 4 on U-disc. So I throw a nice shot down there, just went a little far into the brush, so I had to scramble out. I had a great Zone OS shot going there, but ended up hitting the trees, and then we just have to lay up for our bogey, which it should have been a par. I was really frustrated that they didn't change that so it was a par, because that was literally an unreachable par 3. Hole 5, settling in. Used my trail on this hole. It turned out to be a pretty solid disc for the tournament, as you'll see coming up on some other holes. Had a decent look at birdie, didn't quite make it there, so we took the par. Again, I'm just thinking at this point par golf is really what I'm looking for. Par golf can probably win me this tournament, so that's what I'm trying to do. Hole 7, this is the CTP hole, just a 168, short par 3, use my throwing putter again. Get it real close and actually tap that in for birdie. So we get our first birdie of the round, which was huge. Hole 8 was a big turning backhand shot. I didn't really throw any forehands this tournament because I was pretty nervous, but ended up in the woods on the right. There wasn't any OB this tournament either, which was really helpful. But I ended up bogeying that hole. Hole 9, another shorty, just put it a little too far left. Ended up in the trees. so we had to kind of squat to get an angle, laid up for par. And then we get to hole 10. This was the first like kind of long open hole of the day. Went Melita because I thought I could get it there pretty close with it being under 300 feet. Just turned it over. Had this approach shot to try to get it close for our par. Ended up hitting some trees, but we were able to sink this 15-footer to save par on this hole, which ended up being pretty clutch. Hole 11, interesting late turnover shot. Ended up throwing Halo Wraith. That was the only time I threw that disc on this course. Went left into the trees, had a decent attempt at a bird right there, but ended up laying for par again. Shorty, hole 12. Ended up going through that splinter gap right there somehow. And we did have a look at bird. It wasn't a great look up on this hill about 35 feet. But I just missed over the top. It was kind of hard to get a gauge on the putters that day because it was so cold. Some things were falling, some things weren't. Hole 13, another huge hole. This one was actually a par 4. It probably should have been a par 5. On U-Disc, it was a par 5, so I'm not really sure what was going on with the tournament there. But this one ended up having to scramble a little bit, and we did end up taking a bogey. Next hole, really long par 3, 359. Really got unlucky there. Had a great shot going with the trail and just smoked a tree. Second shot was pretty good. Ended up taking a bogey there. Then we get to hole 15. The last 4 holes of the round. Really need some birdies here to try to get back to even. And I throw an absolute money shot. Have this 20 footer for birdie, and I cashed it that time. So putters were working pretty well at this point. 300-foot par 3, smack a tree. No better way to finish off your round than that. Ended up having a super long approach, which I actually thought I did pretty well. We were in like 8 inches of snow, so you couldn't really get a run anywhere. It was like really high stepping. So I had that to save par. Pretty poor attempt for me for a jump putt. And hole 17, another reachable par 3 that I was really expecting to birdie. This one, just threw it too high, nose up, went into the trees, came back out. Another poor attempt for me for a jump putt to save par. Hole 18, this is kind of where it got a little dicey. Ended up throwing my disc, pretty good shot. We lost it in the snow, looked for it for about 20 minutes, could not find it. My sister, thankfully, was filming the round, but we were looking for the disc for this whole time, so she forgot to film the rest of that hole. I ended up having to abandon the lie, and I ended up taking a double bogey because of it. We did end up finding the disc after I threw my shot, so that was mildly annoying. But yeah, just not the way you wanted to finish that first round, especially not being that far over par. All right, everyone, this is me after round 1. It was a very long round through a lot of snow. I am very sore and tired after one round. I'm 1 position out of the payout right now, so that's my only goal for this next round. Everyone else played almost as bad as I did. There was one guy who's doing really well in our grouping right now, so first place is way out of the question. So I'm just going to try to make the cash out. It was my first time playing the course, so all things considered, I'll take it as a win. And the second time around, I think I'm going to play a lot better. I'm going to make a lot smarter decisions. I was fueled by Burger King, breakfast and lunch of champions, and some body armor. Not a sponsor. So I'm sure that'll contribute to my massive turnaround on the second round. My goal is to shoot a 900 rated round. My last one was +5, and it was 870 something. So a +4, +3 will get me that 900. That's my goal. But we'll check back in. I had a mishap on one of the holes, and so I wasn't able to record audio for a lot of them. But hopefully this next round I will. So we'll check back in after the round. All right, starting the next round on hole 8. Not the way you want to start a round. Smacked a tree right off the bat. Very reachable par 3. I was really upset with how I played this hole. And same thing with the next one. Just not really paying attention, I think. Cost me a bogey right there. But luckily, we still had hole 9 to go. Another reachable par 3. Did really well on this in the first round. Made it right next to the back tee and had a tap-in birdie, the easiest birdie all day that I had. So I was super happy about that, getting right back to even. Again, was just trying to play par golf to try and finish in the cash outline. This is the hole that I went right on before, so only natural that I go left the second time. Had a decent scramble shot here. I mean, we're just looking to save par, so anything we can get, we'll take, essentially. Another gettable par 3 at this hole 12. Went a wide route and ended up being a little bit too far. Would have been great in the summer if it skipped, but in the winter time, just gonna stick in that snow. Hole 13, I thought I'd try something different and try to go max distance. Unfortunately, I completely threw that Hades flat and it rolled right over into the snow. Luckily, we still had like a decent shot to scramble out, but I botched it and hit a tree and went backwards. So now we got this cool cinematic shot from the bridge. I guess wasn't really worth it. Smacked another tree, went off to the right. Had another approach shot right here that I wasn't really paying attention and just threw it right into the woods on the right. But I ended up going up and down there for the bogey. So that actually turned out to be a decent hole. It could have been a lot worse. That bogey putt was huge. This is the hole that I smacked the tree on the last time through trail again. Ended up sending it well clear. Second shot was pretty good right by the basket, made par. This next one, I took just a huge line, hyzer line, ended up in these woods right here where I had this Zone OS shot that I almost put in the basket for a birdie. Pretty sick scramble shot right there. That's part of the reason why I think that disc probably won MVP of this tournament. The trail is a close second. It hit quite a few trees. The glacier, the disc that I'm using on this hole right here, that was a really solid contributor as well. A lot of straight shots I had with that. So I think right now it's between Lifeline, my Zone OS, and Glacier, my really late Melita. I think those are the two, so we'll have to figure out at the end of this video which one we're gonna name the MVP of Willow Wonderland. So this is the hole that I lost the disc on last time. Threw a great Hades shot right there, and then absolutely smashed this Hades second shot. So I actually ended up parring this par 4, which I was one of the only ones to par that hole this tournament on either round, so that was pretty cool. Back to hole 1. This is the Melita. Just kind of went with that one. It felt pretty good. I was able to get it to flip up really easily that day. On this shot right here, there was in some thorn bushes, and I actually ended up pricking my hand right before, so I was really happy that worked out. Right here, we got the most frustrating hole of the day for me. Absolutely parked, and I just thought about that shot way too much. I mean, that's a tap-in birdie every day of the week, and it kind of messed me up for the rest of the round going there. Just got in my head. Wasn't thinking about, what can I do here to really make this up. I should have made that putt for birdie. Was able to dial in a straight shot on this hole. Again, this should have been a par 4. I have no idea why they put it as a par 3, because this is my second shot and it's still like almost 200 feet to the basket. So I really don't know what they were thinking there. Luckily, I almost was able to par this hole. This was my par putt, which should have been a birdie putt. Came close, but ended up having to take a bogey on that again. Hole 5. Getting to the end of the round here, last 3 holes. Probably one of my best shots of the day, just an absolute tunnel shot. Went about 250 with the Melita, and I just short the jump putt for birdie. So I was feeling pretty good. It was just I was missing it by a tiny bit. Hole 6, right before the last hole of the day. Same thing, just missed it right. Had this throw in for birdie and tapped it in for par. Last hole of the day, this is the CTP hole. I went with Melita and it was just way too much disc. I should have just done my throwing putter again. Any hole under 200 feet, I'm just gonna do that from now on. After all of that, I ended up finishing 4th for my second tournament ever and my first tournament in the MA3 division. My tournament as a whole ended up grading out as an 880 rating. So this meant, unfortunately, that I did not complete 2 out of the 3 of my goals. My first goal was to shoot at or above my rating. 880 was pretty close to there, so I was pretty happy with that. My second goal was to make the lead card on the second round. I wasn't able to do that, unfortunately. I was a little bit outside going into the second round. And then my third goal was to make the cash out line, which I did cash out. So we are very happy with that. And as you can see from the footage here, they have a ton of discs. It's so fun after the tournament, just talking to everyone and checking out all the discs and stuff that they have. I always have a blast at this part of the tournament. And we ended up going with this cool Z-Lite Raptor with the MDGO stamp and this Zone OS that I thought was a really cool stamp as well. Well, I hope you guys loved the video. I was pretty happy with the way I performed, all things considered. It was so cold, so much snow. So I was actually pretty happy with how everything turned out for my second tournament ever. Hopefully going to be doing another tournament here in about a month, a little closer to me in the Kalamazoo area. Getting an MA3, that one as well. So keep up. If you want to stay with the journey, if you like the video, you like how things are going around here, please like, subscribe, comment. Really means a lot to me. I love all the support that I've been getting on this journey, and I just can't wait to document all of it for you guys. Ended up going with Lifeline, my Zone OS, for the Willow MVP, Willow Wonderland MVP of the tournament. Just thought this disc got me out of so much trouble. Almost had that throw in on that hole in round 2 that you guys saw. And I just really thought that disc was the most consistent disc that I used all tournament. So hope you guys have a great rest of your week, but I'll see you in the next video. Peace.